I'd love to see the Clarity Act pass the Senate before the end of the year.
The next 93 days, October, November, and December, are shaping up to be a pivotal period for the crypto market. There is a strong sentiment that the current price points represent a critical, and perhaps final, opportunity for entry. The decision to act on this information rests with each individual. The good news is that this Bitcoin cycle likely won't reach its peak until mid-2026, given the current momentum. Stay tuned because markets are surging today following the Fed's first rate cut of 2025. I'm not just referring to Bitcoin, crypto, or altcoins, which are all rallying, but also the S&P 500, NASDAQ, and gold, all moving upward. Liquidity is flowing back into the markets and will continue as interest rates are cut further. Currently, there's nearly a 90% probability of another rate cut in October, with a high likelihood in November, December, and into 2026. Assets that benefit from increased liquidity, such as Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, Chainlink, Cardano, and others, are poised to climb significantly higher. What's fascinating here, and I want you to pay close attention, is that Bitcoin is only about 5% shy of breaking into fresh all-time high territory. Ethereum, meanwhile, is just 1% from reclaiming its peak from 2021. Despite this, folks are behaving as if we're stuck in the depths of a brutal bear market. That kind of disconnect in sentiment? It's incredibly bullish. On top of that, altcoin season is kicking off right now. We're probably in the first or second inning of what I see as a full 9-inning game. It's no longer just Bitcoin or Ethereum leading the charge. The alts are starting to shine. And speaking of momentum, the SEC has finally delivered on something we've been anticipating. They've greenlit generic standards for ETF listings. It might sound dry, but this is huge. It paves the way for a flood of crypto ETFs to hit the market without needing case-by-case sign-offs. As Bloomberg's top ETF analyst James Seifert put it, brace yourself for a surge of spot crypto ETF debuts in the weeks and months ahead. We're already witnessing it unfold. Fresh off the press, the inaugural US spot Dogecoin ETF is now live and trading. Remember when no other crypto besides Bitcoin could dream of this? Michael Saylor swore it would stay that way. Then Ethereum broke through, and now Dogecoin, XRP, and Solana are getting the same red carpet treatment. This is truly a huge watershed moment for the industry. This is the crypto ETF rule we've all been waiting for. The floodgates are literally about to open because guess what comes next? Staking ETFs are next with a generic listing standard in place. The path isn't just for spot ETFs, it's for staking ETFs, and to enable them. Once staking is allowed, ETFs won't just track the price, they'll generate yield. And with that, $7 trillion will shift into Ethereum and Solana. Over $7 trillion is parked in money market funds, earning about 4% as rates drop. The money hunt for yield continues with ETH staking ETFs, offering that yield, and $7 trillion shifting to Ethereum and crypto. For so many quality assets with Bitcoin and Ethereum and Solana's case, they're not just getting accepted into Wall Street, they're getting accepted into digital asset public company treasuries. So this is a chart of percent of the total asset supply by digital asset treasuries. So something for Bitcoin, something for Ethereum, something for Solana. Understand that for Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, and top assets getting institutionalized, public companies and Wall Street adopting these assets only going to trend higher. Now, what's interesting here is that although Bitcoin is expected to go up, Ethereum is expected to probably outshoot Bitcoin, and Solana might outshoot them both. And yet, we're just at the beginning of the Solana treasury strategy. This chart is bullish for Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana. Make no mistake about it. And people in our audience or just all crypto holders are getting rich. Solana hits $250. BNB coin making a new all-time high, actually over $1,000 today. You don't understand how rich people are getting off of these different tokens. And now we're seeing so much fundamentally bullish news happening. PayPal becomes multi-chain, partnering with not only Aptos but a whole host of different altcoins. AVAX, SEI. PayPal is going all in on crypto. Like so much is happening. You might be thinking, is this the top? This is the top. I'm here to tell you we couldn't be any further from the top. The market is forward-looking. So let's look towards the future. We have the Market Structure Bill, the Clarity Act. It's going to be a huge catalyst from this space. It is months away. It will regulate all of crypto and finally allow America to become fully the crypto capital of the world. Look forward to this.
The main crux of this bill is actually trying to regulate crypto, trying to say when is crypto a commodity, when's it a security, and how that needs to break down.
Everybody working in crypto today knows how big this next catalyst will be. It will change every aspect of the trade-off world, making crypto even bigger than it ever was before. CEO Coinbase. Brian Armstrong explains this here.
Payments and stablecoins, new types of investments and asset classes, capital formation, credit, like all these things can get reinvented, made more efficient in the crypto world. And that's ultimately what we're trying to do. We're trying to create more economic freedom in the world and update the financial system.
The Market Structure Clarity Bill will pass soon. It will be bipartisan. It will be a huge catalyst. The U.S. Congress is almost solely focused on passing this right now, making America the crypto capital world and doing it as quickly as possible this year. Representative French Hill explains the process and what to expect going forward.
We passed in the House in July the Clarity Act, which got 78 Democratic votes, meaning we had a strong bipartisan vote over the suspension of vote level in the House, meaning more than 290 members came together to vote for the Clarity Act, which is that market framework which will make America the most competitive digital asset nation in the world when you combine it with the Genius Act that President Trump signed into law in July, which is the dollar-backed payment stablecoin legislation. We can't be competitive and lead the nation in fintech if we don't have this market framework. I told President Trump back in July that if you sign the Genius Act and you pass it, it's like passing a bill that authorizes the use of a cell phone, but you have no cell towers. You don't have the rules for custody, for dealing, for exchanging, for serving as a trader, for how you're going to actually operate a blockchain network inside the financial services industry. So we need both. They're both essential. And as you point out, the Senate is now considering the Clarity Act under Tim Scott's leadership in the Banking Committee and John Boozman's leadership in the House of the Senate Ag Committee. And we hope that they will take prompt action on that this fall during the October and November timeframe. I'd love to see the Clarity Act pass the Senate before the end of the year.
Unbelievable. A golden statue of President Trump holding a Bitcoin has been placed outside the U.S. Capitol. Who did this? Nobody knows, but it's there and it represents the changing times. Let me show you some bullish metrics. Bitcoin inflows to accumulation addresses. Bitcoin sees its second largest inflows to accumulation addresses in 2025. The last time this happened in 2025, it marked the April lows. And Bitcoin continues to become even scarcer as more and more people realize the opportunity. Bitcoin liquid supply reaches a new all-time high. This is bullish. If you believe in the 4-year cycle, The end of the cycle comes in the next 3 months. It's possible. Look, I've been in crypto a long time. I know a lot of you have been in crypto multiple cycles. So, something like this could be very likely, but we're nowhere close to the top at this point, but we're getting closer. We're nowhere near close to the top of the cycle. Everybody calling for the top of the cycle in Q4 or Q1 of 2026 might actually be incorrect because this trend line suggests that the cycle could stretch into mid-2026. Very interesting theory. In 2017 and 2021, the monthly MACD hit the same level of resistance trend before Bitcoin topped. As we head into the fourth quarter, the exact setup could be forming again. Now, history doesn't repeat perfectly, but it often rhymes. So the question is, will this MACD trend line call the top again? And if it does, it is signaling a top mid next year that this bull market could last even longer than expected. History doesn't repeat, but it does rhyme. And we are entering an age, a shakeup, a new paradigm not seen in a long time. Here, Tyler Winklevoss explains what exactly is happening, why tokenized equities are the biggest shift in traditional finance.
It's as if we're in 1933 and we're looking at the next 100 years of U.S. capital markets. That's what this moment is right now. And I think the foundation for the next century is being put together right now as we speak. And I think we'll look back a decade from now and say, wow, that was a really big transition in capital markets. Probably not since another 100 years.
Michael Saylor agrees. Michael Saylor couldn't be more bullish. Michael Saylor just mapped out the next wave of institutional Bitcoin and crypto adoption. Clearer regulations, new accounting rules, banks and trad preparing to integrate with Bitcoin and crypto. This isn't hype. This is the groundwork for a financial reset. Most people aren't this forward-looking. Michael Saylor is. Listen to every word he says in this clip. This is where the future's headed.
The banking system of the Western world is uncramping itself, and it'll probably take 4 years for that to happen. And during that time frame, we're just in this epic of institutional adoption. You've got the right accounting, you've got the right guidance, you've got the right law, you've got the right tone at the top, and that just means large, risk-averse, bureaucratic organizations are going to take their time to work through it, but it's not like every single week I don't have a conversation with the president or the CEO of a bank or some other large financial organization where I point out that they're about to miss out on trillions of dollars of opportunities, and this is why the private bank, the commercial bank, the investment bank should get involved. If you have I couldn't have those conversations 4 years ago. Now we're going to have those conversations every day for the next 4 years. We're going to convince 10%, 20%. And so we're in this transition.
Today's video has ended. Thank you for being with me so far. Please watch the previous videos to stay informed about the news of the crypto world. Don't forget to subscribe, like this video, and tell me in the comments what token you are buying for alt season. Bye until the next video.